of the Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 355 of a daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Slicers V1 playing cards from Organic Playing Cards. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. And here we have the V1 of the Slicers playing cards here in the standard glossy finish tuck box. You got that organic circle there, or organic, I was going to say organic playing cards logo there, but it's not. It has the circle design with the organic orchard slicers design there. It's just picked fresh since 2017. You got the apple there, and then you got like the wood background there for like the picnic table kind of style or picnic basket kind of like style there. And then you got that like plaid kind of napkin or blanket on top. On the side is that wood pattern that wraps around, same as the other side. The bottom, you got your information. You got the OPC logo and the website off to the right. And then these are from 2019, so 2019, first edition, one of 3,000, designed by Organic Playing Cards, distributed by Riffle Shuffle, and in Dallas, Texas, made in the USA. On the back, you got more of that wood style there. And you got a little worm kind of peeking out there. Then you just got more of that napkin that kind of wraps around the top of the tuck box. And your tuck flap just has that, or the tuck flap has that plaid pattern once again. And the inner tuck flaps also that kind of plaid design. Take the cards out of the box. Inside the tuck box, just plain white. Nothing too crazy or fancy going on inside there. Now that we took a look at the cards, the tuck box. Now take a look at the cards. And first start with that back design. Well, here we have a pretty simplistic back design. It is a mirrored back design with the standard white border. It is an all red background with the green apples there on top. And it is mirrored. So we flip it over. Same design in both directions. And now for the cards you get with the deck. You will start with the first Joker. It says Joker, Joker there, with the J being red there. Then you got the green apple there. Then you got a second identical Joker there, so two identical Jokers. Then you get a blank face. And you get an extra Seven of Clubs, which is in that green colorway. And now for that custom Ace of Spades. You got that big spade there. It's in the shape of an apple tree. So you got the spade in the shape of an apple tree. An apple tree in the shape of a spade. There's the slicers down there. And then you got the custom colorway font there in the corners, which is that green. And then, well, I guess those are out of order. Anyway. And then you got the rest of the spades, which are standard spades, just in that kind of like in between. It's not like a light green, but it's also not a dark green, so like a medium colored green there. So in that green colorway. And you got the court cards, Jack, Queen, King of spades. And they're always like pretty standard for like organic playing cards, like the standard design. But they always have a little extra hidden items in it. And these ones are in that kind of green, brown, and red colorway. So green and red colorway there. And then the Jack has an apple in its hand with an apple tree behind it. And the Queen has an apple pie. And the King has some apple cider. And then the diamonds are pretty standard, just slightly smaller pip there, but they're just standard there in like a darker red colorway. Once again, the Jack, Queen, King. Standard design, just in that green and red kind of colorway. And then the Jack has an apple slicer, apple peeler. And then the Queen has a basket of apples. And the King has an apple slice. Then the clubs here, Jack, Queen, King of clubs, are in that green colorway. The clubs are once again. And then the Jack, Queen, King, once again, standard, just in that green and red colorway. And the King has an axe. The Queen has a candy apple. And the Jack has a bag of apple seeds. And then the rest of the clubs are standard, just in that green colorway. And lastly, the hearts, Jack, Queen, King of hearts, standard, just in that green and red colorway. And then the King has an apple core. The Queen has an apple with a bite out of it. And the Jack has some applesauce or something like that. And then the rest of the hearts are just standard. But now that we took a look at the cards, time to test the handling. And these were made in the United States, so they're made by the United States Playing Card Company. And first we'll start with the springs. These are still pretty new cards, like haven't been used too much, so they definitely have a decent amount of stiffness to it. So you definitely got to break these in. It's not like a terrible amount of stiffness, because I can still flex them and bend them a little bit. But you can definitely tell that they're a lot stiffer than some other cards. But they still make for some great springs. Nice springy springs. And because they're stiffer, they might be a little bit more slippery when you're doing the springs. They could like fly to your hands a little bit easier. But they're still pretty good springs there. Just a little bit stiff. Now for the fans. As you can see, they spread pretty evenly. You can see most of the pips and numbers. No real stickiness or clumpiness to the cards. And now time for the Pharaoh. Super smooth Pharaoh there. Now for a giant fan of that back design. And now for that reverse Pharaoh. Reverse Pharaoh was pretty smooth. They did catch and I slightly had to push them together. But not too bad. Now for a giant fan of the faces. Now time for the Riffle Shuffle or Bridge Shuffle. Pretty smooth Riffle Shuffles. No real issues there. They work pretty nicely. Now time for a few packet cuts. Well, overall, pretty good packet cuts. I did notice that they were a little slippery from time to time. But overall, pretty nice. I didn't really drop anything. It's not like overly slippery or anything. Well, now time for that one-handed cut or a Charlier cut. And now time for the dribble. Well, pretty smooth dribbles there. I think you have a little bit more grip with the back design up, but they still feel pretty similar. Now time for that spread fan. And lastly, spread the cards on the table. Well, go say another fantastic deck from Organic Playing Cards. You can never go wrong with Organic Playing Cards. They make a deck for everyone. When they first started, they started only making like fruit flavored ones, but they made tons of other styles now. Still in the food realm, but different styles like fruits, vegetables, and some other stuff there. And this one's pretty fun though. Got that red back design with the green apple on top, which pops out. So it's almost kind of like a Christmas vibe at the same time. Because if you look at the faces of them, how they're red and green, so it kind of almost gives a little bit of a Christmas vibe, even though it's not Christmas themed. That's kind of what it gives me. But then you've got the faces here, which I said they're in that green and red kind of theme, because apples are red and green. And then you got the full custom court cards. They're pretty standard, like design of the court card, but then they have the added features where they're in that swapped color, like the browns, the reds, and the greens. And then they all have that kind of hidden little extra added, like kind of like because it's apple themed, they have some kind of apple item in their hands. And we took a look at that earlier. So pretty well designed deck. They always make pretty fun designed decks. And then for the handling, there's definitely no issues with the handling. But straight out of the box, they will be a little bit stiff. So you definitely got to break them in to get them worked in so they're not as stiff. But other than that, they're pretty nice. A little slippery from time to time. Well, any cards can be slippery. You just gotta watch how slippery they are. But other than that, they handle fantastic. And they have that fantastic design. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. This has been day 355 of Daily Deck Review. This has been the Slicers V1 playing cards from Organic Playing Cards. And I'm the Canadian Card Collector, signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!